There we are.
There we are, man. That is something.
Comperton.
Hey,
All
you
right,
do
brother.
it. You kind of do it better than K-Pro. Even you can actually belt out a tune.
Yeah, I may have to do a little karaoke this weekend and maybe
Oh,
sing some
that's. I hope somebody gets video of that.
Horace Finn Chase lyrics to My Way.
Just be careful when you're down there. There's people that can live stream right from their phone.
I
No,
have no problem with anybody live streaming. Um, so yeah.
how are we tonight? It is. What is tonight? Tuesday.
Tuesday night.
Everybody's
Calm before
gearing
the
up,
storm.
getting up to take off to the World Series of Fen, Vegas, baby.
Yeah, I'm excited. I didn't actually book until Tuesday morning or Monday morning. Monday morning at about 10 a.m. Central Time, I actually got online and got a flight and hotel package to Bally's that were direct flights. And I'm looking at forward to getting out there Friday, probably to the hotel by about 6 p.m. and get situated and let the games begin for me on Friday. And then
so I was not going to be able to go, and then I was going to be able to go, and then I'm not be able to go, and then I was still hoping, well, maybe there could be I could sneak in for, and it just don't look like it's going to happen, and that bums me out. But today I shipped out a bunch of prizes for the poker tournament.
Oh yeah, I forgot I'm taking one with me too.
Nothing like waiting to the last minute.
This is mine that I'm keeping, but I'm actually taking an exact one of these, which is the 100th anniversary Jim Beam bottle that has the bear on the top, Old Faithful in the middle. And
that's for liquor.
It was literally sold with 100-month-old Jim Beam in it. And it's a collector's item, and I've kind of have a nice trophy. So if whoever's winning the poker tournament can hold it up after they're done.
Yes, little engine that could, like Candy, K-Pro. There's multiple people out there that have, if you have 1,000 subscribers, if you are monetized, you can go live from your phone. So beware.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about we got an action-packed hour because we say we're only going to be on for an hour. So we've got our favorite game show that we play every week, trivia contest, and we're going to have to figure out again everybody who answered correctly. So we're going to do the copper kettle at some point. You got a PowerPoint about one of the new treasure hunts that we wanted to talk about, and I did a PowerPoint on something just off the wall that doesn't have us talking about solves in the past and that type of stuff, and more about a different type of thing. And of course, I'm also test driving a new t-shirt for the World Series of Fen. This is in honor of Alan Kelly, you, K-Pro, Candy, Mindy. It's my ha t-shirt.
Ha ha ha.
How about that?
That's funny. Get it? But I need a soundboard. Thank you, Devil Bud. Devil Bud's he lives over the pond, and he stayed up just to watch us, so we cannot disappoint. Packer Jack, we have to bring our A game tonight.
I will bring my A game tonight.
But with that, should we play You Don't Know Jack?
Yeah, so let me get my screens going here to make sure I can find it. Hang on a second.
Take your time. Hey, Bobby.
Oh, there it is. I found it. I'm going to share it. I'm going to go right to the top first slide before anybody can see the answers.
Hurry.
All right, here we go.
All right, who does the first one?
Episode 3. Well, I'll do the introduction again. So we've got the rules of engagement. Whoops. Hang on a second. Rules of engagement. Each show will invite Jack Stoof to join us. I know you called Jack. You texted him, right? But is he here?
You never know. You're going to just have to wait till the end of the show to find out.
You sent him the Zoom link, right?
Well, that would have been helpful, huh?
All right. It's a fun segment to learn more about Jack without asking him to solve or chase related questions unless he volunteers to do so. There's no doxing going on here. And the information, unless Jack gives us fresh content, has been shared elsewhere before on previous shows, websites, books, photos, articles, or other publications. We may revisit some of his emails to searchers or simply ask a trivia question related like the ones we're about to launch. And this, our third installment of this fun thing that we call, because Copper Dan is really the only one who's met Jack. What do we call it?
You don't know Jack, but I do.
All right. Question 1 is yours, Dan.
All right. Let me make my screen big here so I can read it. When I met Jack at the airport, where he told me that what he had done with the emerald ring, haha, just kidding. He signed 3 items for me. 2 were maps that I had brought with him to sign. The third was a spur of the moment signing of an item from a business that played an important role in I'm sorry, I can't read tonight. Important role in Forrest getting TTOTC and the poem out to the public, both in writing and through his own voice. What was that third item that Jack signed, and what was the name of the business on it? So this is a 2-part question.
Yeah. What did Jack sign, and what was the name of the business on it? So I remember you had the maps, and then everybody thought there was a controversy because they could see the second map under
Oh man, and I kept the second map to myself just because of a little bit of, and I didn't want people to blow up Jack's email. Hey, you signed Copper Dan's map. Would you sign my map? Would you sign my book? Blah, blah, blah. So it was supposed to be just a thing for me. And I would probably told a couple of close friends, and then that would have been it. But I didn't realize it was that second map was just slid out enough. And, these treasure hunters, they don't miss a beat. And I got called out on it.
We've got a correct answer. So I'm going to fast forward to it. And it was Bree CH, Collected Works Bookstore. And she said bookmark after that.
2 points to her.
So we need to know, is that Brit Chaser, or is that?
Oh, that could be Brit. That's Brit Chaser. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you a she.
We're gonna have to go back when we're ready to do the copper kettle drawing and watch every single one of these to figure out who won these things. All right, here we go. Question 2. Jack wrote an article for BuzzFeed regarding people getting .com company tattoos on their face, neck, arms, and legs for money. One of these individuals, named Joseph Tamargo, had multiple tattoos that netted him a hefty sum. How much money did Joseph get for his .com tattoos? Boy, that's an obscure one. Again, Jack wrote an article for BuzzFeed about people getting .com company tattoos for money. One of them was Joseph. How much money did Joseph get for his .com body face tattoos?
Man, you guys got to start you need to start reading up on Jack before Tuesday night shows if you want to get these. I mean, these are some hard questions.
Some of these are hard, some of these are easy. Last week we had one about Cynthia. We changed it up. You don't know Cynthia, so we may have some surprises yet tonight. Look at we got 42 people. No one even wants to hazard a guess on that.
Come on, people, just throw a number out there.
All right, we're going to wait 10 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right.
$220,000.
Unbelievable.
There's Jack's article, branded for life.
Unbelievable.
$220,000. You know why nobody got that, Dan?
Because you don't know Jack.
That's right. All right, let's Copper Dan. Question number 3. Oh, it's not. You don't know Jack.
Ooh, at the World Series of Fen last year, after marrying the girl of his dreams, our buddy Mike Calling, also known as Call Lasers, did how many shots of whiskey on the evening after the poker tournament? Ooh, this has been told. This has been
well publicized. How many shots Mike ended up doing?
Look at that. That is he is styling and profiling there.
Yeah, he's got the blue blockers on.
Welcome, Mike. Is Mike in chat tonight? Mike, we might be too early. The problem is we might go on too early for Mike and K-Pro.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because if it's 5 their time.
But I bet you the people out on the East Coast appreciate us, or the people that are
Kate
over.
Pioneer says 5. 5 is not the correct number of shots that Mike did.
That is
after the World Series of Fen on their wedding week.
keep guessing, guys. Just throw numbers out there. This is for big money, big money. No whammies. All right. How long should we give them?
Oh, we got a winner.
We have a winner.
Devil
Chicken
Bud.
dinner. Devil Bud is the big
The
winner.
answer is 9. And look at Mike sitting in the bathtub, looking all macho there.
That got made into a blanket. In fact, that might be the blanket. I don't know. That was the thing to pose with last year was it last year or the year before?
He's going to beat me up now when I go out there for putting this picture up.
That's funny.
All right.
Mike is pretty good. He's pretty good sport.
Next question. I'll read this one real quick. In 2011, Jack wrote a post for Wonket that was titled, Osama bin Laden death photos look strangely like blank blank. What famous actor, not Ben Napple, did Jack compare the photos of bin Laden to, not faux bin Laden, of bin Laden to? So Jack wrote an article where he compared bin Laden's death photos to an actor. Who was the actor at the end of the title? David Crump says, these are harder than figuring out where warm water's hauled. You're absolutely right, David. For this.
Well, I promise we will throw some easy ones in there for you. I mean, the last one wasn't
Barry
bad.
Casey says, I can't unsee that after we showed that picture of Mike.
We will we'll end with that. Maybe I should use that as the video pick.
Alan Kelly says, myself, no, it was not. Osama bin Laden death photos look strangely like Alan Kelly.
Jim Carrey says little engine that could.
Jim Carrey is not correct. All right, we're going to do 10 seconds. Osama bin Laden death photos look strangely like blank blank. What famous actor did Jack compare the bin Laden death photos to?
You know, I don't even know this. I should guess. Maybe I could win.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Osama bin Laden death photos look strangely like Rob Lowe. Oh, that's a weird one. Jack Stoof. What the heck were you writing that on? May 18th, 2011. And but you know why nobody got it, Dan?
Because they don't know Jack.
That's right. Question 5, Copper Dan. Oh, this isn't a you don't know Jack. This is a you don't know Ben.
Now, this one actually surprised me when I previewed these earlier. Speaking of former actor Ben Napple, I did not know Ben was an actor. How did I not know this? I knew Ashley was. I didn't know Ben. He's a paid actor too. Speaking of former actor Ben Napple, what was the name of the show that Ben made a single episode appearance off before?
Swearing off, not a wearing off. Acting.
Okay, I was wondering, Mike, before wearing off acting for good.
Oh. All right, what was the show? One episode Ben was on. He's talked about it a couple times. Doody 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 do. Do 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 boom boom.
And if you really want to hear Packer Jack sing, tune in every Saturday night while we get drunk while we do a show.
Right.
Do you realize how many views we've had on that show? Like the most ever on any of our shows.
Hey.
Was the show about nothing.
Yes, no, the answer is not Dildo Lube Boat. That was a previous episode, but thank you. That would be a great show, though, potentially. All right, here it is. Still standing. Ben was actually on one episode of the TV show with Jamie Gertz. Still standing.
I'm going to have to pull that up.
You know why they didn't get that? Because they don't know Ben. All right. Bonus question, Copper Dan. Here we go.
When I met Jack at the airport, where he specifically told me what the home of Brown was, the place I forgot to put the just kidding part in there. K-Pro is going to beat me up for that. The place we sat together was a lounge owned by a credit card company named after their specific brand. What is the full name of the lounge?
Boy, this should be an easy one for somebody who travels a lot to get.
Hey, I sat right there. That's where I sat.
I know. That's because I was stalking you, so I knew exactly.
Hey, were you was the blonde woman actually your wife?
That blonde one was actually me in drag. So
Well, you should dress up as.
What did she say? She asked you guys, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, here's me like taking pictures, and she's, what are you doing? And I'm like, he's just a buddy, and Jack just totally steps in. He goes, so I was a finder of a big treasure hunt, and I'm just meeting with him so I can sign his map for him.
All right, we
And
got two answers. We got two answers. Both. We're gonna let both guys get in because it came in right in the same minute, and they were the first two. So it's Steve Klein and Forrest Frenzy are both going into the Copper Kettle. It was the American Express Centurion run. Look at that picture, Dan. You must remember walking through those blue doors.
Hang on, let me back up here. Is that from my phone, my picture?
No, that's not.
No, I very much do. I remember I leaned against that guy for over an hour because Jack ended up late because his flight got stuck in a thunder. I shouldn't give all this out, but we could use this for future
you don't know
trivia.
Jack's? At some point we're going to run out and he's just going to have to come on and tell us stuff about himself.
I know, I'm working on it. Is that it?
All right, I just stopped share. Yeah, that's it for You Don't Know Jack. We'll do another episode. We'll go back, put everybody in the Copper Kettle. I think what we're going to do, because we've done 3 episodes, is we'll get through next week's episode if I actually am living and get back from World Series of Fen Alive. And we do the show on Tuesday. Then after the Tuesday show, we'll do on the following week the monthly drawing for from the Copper Kettle for a major Copper Day and Packer Jack prize.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so we are already at 17 past the hour. We've got 2 more PowerPoints to go. Plenty of good chat going on. Dan, you want to take it over next with the PowerPoint you did? I'm actually impressed that Copper Dan told me he actually did a PowerPoint himself.
I know this was like breaking news. I felt like I was in college again. I haven't created a PowerPoint in probably 12 years, but nothing much has changed.
I bet it's all going to be all in Helvetica then.
All right, see if I can remember how to share my screen.
Hey, Huli. Hey, Indy. Hey, David. Hey, Nomadic. Hey, Tyler. My Packer brother.
Sorry, I'm taking a minute here.
Davio, I am coming on out. Gonna have to decide if we want to get pancakes on Sunday brunch pancakes in Vegas, depending upon when you're going back.
Pancakes, carbohydrates. All right.
He says, dude, new roommate. I'm not a roommate guy at this point in my life. You know, I've lived long enough. I roomied with
hotel room stuff. I roomied with Davio last year. And that was like, Davio should have felt special because I love people, but at the end of the day, everybody get out. I want my own room where I can just chillax and just like, I have people overload where I just need to be alone. And
what's up, Dark? I think Dark's heading out there tomorrow. Those guys, some of you guys are going to be already out there tomorrow for a pub crawl tomorrow night, which just blows my mind that you're going to go hard Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Wow. We'll get ready to do this here. I'm going to stop square first.
Alan, are you going or not? I need to know if Alan's going. I don't think he is because I got so busy again today in a 3-hour chart of accounts meeting that I still have to get.
Boy, that's a riveting meeting. Chart of accounts.
Ridiculous.
Did you talk about assets and liabilities? And
so people want to know why I don't like doing Codebreaker Charlie stuff. Is because I do it at work. The last thing I want to do is come home and work on a cipher. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
So Mike and Christy went live. What is today? Tuesday. So I think it was at Sunday or maybe probably just yesterday. They went live just talking about the World Series of Fen. And normally I'm like super excited about it. I just come in the house. My wife like, what's wrong? Because I'm just like, I want to go so bad and I can't go. So I can promise you if we are all still here next year and there's a World Series of Fen, I will not be putting an art show on it.
All right. Alan's not going. Alan, I'm going to get that pin in the mail to you tomorrow. So you'll be getting it to feel like you're a little part of World Series of Fen when it comes to you in the mail. Red envelope, red alert, red button, red envelope, Alan. It's in a red envelope.
All right, guys, are we ready? We're gonna we're gonna just take a break and talk about a treasure hunt. And this treasure hunt is called Treasure Island, the Treasure Hunt edition.
I ordered the book.
You did. I got the book.
And you said you want to talk about it on the show. So I got to get yours thing, and I got to get Candy's too. I promised her I'd start working on hers, since it must be so difficult that no one's even close to getting it yet. So
did you so I got the book. I had a chance just to literally flip through it. I have not had a chance to read it. My first question is what David Jacobson did here was basically used the same book. I think he probably went through it and added to it. I just wonder if you were to read the regular edition of Treasure Island and this and found out what the differences are, if that would help you. But
well, he must have paid a bundle, but to be able to use Robert Louis Stevenson's name and do a treasure hunt.
I don't know how all that works, but if you go to www.treasureislandtreasure.com, you will go to his website. I gotta move this out of my way. All right. So by David Jacobson, David has written a special edition of an already classic book, Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Inside it are hidden. Oh boy, I screwed that up. Inside it are hidden clues and an actual treasure chest. Hidden inside is a golden key and hidden inside the treasure chest is a golden key and a note written on $100 bill. Find the chest and reveal the secret message, and an actual treasure said to be worth over $10,000 awaits. You
know something, Dan? You actually read stuff on the screen better when you've had a lot of gin.
Shut up. That is probably true, though. I forgot to take the actual glass from my gin up. It's still sitting.
David Crumb says no need to pay. It's out of copyright, which makes sense. Plus, he's been dead forever. But yeah, you never know if it's someone's estate or like Elvis. You still have to pay for Elvis licensing. But
how to claim the treasure? So you can go. If you go to his website, you could take you right to his Amazon link, and the book can be purchased for a mere $19.99 for a paperback edition. The clues and the hints you need to find the treasure are locked inside the chapters of the book. Whoops. Sign up to his email list and receive extra clues and hints as they may come out. And I put a link to his site right there. And
so what turned you on about this, Dan, is you're a boots on the ground guy.
This is a boots on the ground hunt, and it's similar to the way I did mine, where you are not going to actually find the full loot in the chest. You're going to basically find a proxy item, but even the proxy item is kind of cool. I mean, a treasure chest, $100 bill, and a gold key. I don't know that the key is actually pure gold, but I don't know that. I have reached out to David, and I want to get him on the show and see if we can grill him. Now, would be nice to him. I just want to see if he'd like to promote his hunt. We can maybe ask some questions. And this is a picture he has on the website of what the loot looks like. So there's some neat stuff in there. I see some coins, probably looks like some silver down here. That must be the key.
Yeah, so he's saying it's 10 grand or more in there.
That's what he values it at. So
yeah. Blue sapphire ring, lots of rings.
That's anyways, cool. That was a quick 4-slide PowerPoint. It's not quite a K-Pro or a Packer Jack style PowerPoint.
I'm warming up.
I was just.
He doesn't even know I'm going to be talking about the Omega Man controversy. I talked to you a little bit one time about it, but this was big during the chase, and I got into the chase late, so I was.
All right, I'm like the warm-up act for the real comedians. So, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I don't know if comedy, and again, I just threw this together last minute, so we'll see if I can. First of all, I need to find it. So let me. Because I've got so many darn windows open still from work. Oh, is this it? Nope, that's the Cynthia one I did. I'm going to close that out.
Let's see if I don't want to ignore chat here. So I am.
No, yeah, keep going. So I've got to actually find it. Here it is.
Oh, so Huli put the link in the chest. You can also, I almost forgot to give credit where credit is due. You can find this hunt on Jenny Kyle's mysterious writing site, and she also did 6 questions with him. So if you are interested in that, make sure you check all that out, because once in a while, treasure hunters, our treasure promoters put secrets or clues and hints in the 6 questions. I know I did.
All right, I'm reading this along with you for the first time because I just threw this together after I had some ridiculous long meetings. But there was some talk about, all the things about Forrest, and of course, I'm wearing the ha 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 shirt, so there was the whole DB Cooper thing, and I know some people didn't like that because they thought you were insinuating that Forrest was a criminal because DB Cooper actually, hijacked a plane and stole money, and I agree with that sentiment to some extreme, and I felt kind of the same way about, was Forrest Omega Man, and I really got into it. I was like, well, I don't think Forrest is, but I want to know who the hell pulled this off because they, counterfeited $300 million in fake gold coins, and the numismatic value of those coins at mint state is so much more than if you just had blocks of gold or bars of gold. So some of you may not even know what the heck I'm talking about, but it's, was Forrest attached to the Omega Man mystery, and are there any Omega Man coins in the treasure chest? I think that would be cool if once the coins are graded and everything, if there's actually an Omega Man coin in the treasure chest. All right, I'm going to read through this really quickly. And Dan, my little pictures of you and I is right. I got to move it real quick there. So in the early 1970s, the American Numismatic Association Certification Service noticed an unusually high number of high relief coins entering the market. High relief means in amazing condition. High relief coins are coins that are struck multiple times to produce extremely clear, concise contours. Suspicious that an unusually high quality counterfeiter could be the culprit, they began a careful examination of the coins. If it weren't for a minute omega, and I'll talk about that because it was originally called a skull and crossbones, but an omega symbol in the claw of an eagle on the coin, they would have never known they were counterfeits. Literally, they would not have known that these were counterfeits. So the back of an Omega Man counterfeit coin, coin-like paper money coins are often counterfeited. In almost all cases, they're very easy to spot. Usually coin counterfeiting is not done really, really well because you have to have such high quality equipment. You have to be able to know how to actually get a coin ready for minting. And, when you have expert coin examiners all throughout the world that can look to see if something's right or not, when they magnify it, they can typically tell, sometimes just on site, but with magnifying glasses that they're counterfeit. So they're often molded rather than struck. That's another reason why they're easy to tell if they're a counterfeit coin. High quality coins are done with a press, such as those that are used by the United States Mint that produce American coinage. The molded varieties always leave telltale signs they are fake. Bubbles, unusual markings, are all these things that are produced with a coin press, and they're dead giveaways that a coin is fake. So the Omega coins, on the other hand, were literally indistinguishable from the real thing, except for the mark that we'll talk about in just a minute. So the counterfeiter was dubbed the Omega Man. And again, that the original first person who looked at it thought it was a skull and crossbones. So interesting that Omega Man, the second person who looked at it, said, no, it looks more like an Omega, and they went with that. It's believed that his coins are identical to the real thing, except for the symbol. And there are some other marks that we'll talk about. So it's not visible to the naked eye and can only be seen under high magnification. In most cases, the Omega symbol was placed near the eagle's claw on the back of the Gowden's coin, but in at least two cases, the symbol was placed within the upper loop of the R in the word liberty on other coins that I'll show you. It's believed that the Omega Man created over 20,000 1907 ultra high relief United States $20 gold double eagle coins worth well over $300 million. The forgeries are of such high quality that collectors will pay in excess of $1,500 for a single counterfeit coin. A real one in that state, in a mint state condition, retails for about $100,000 now. The Omega Man has also counterfeited other US coins, including a large quantity of $3 gold pieces dated 1874, 1878, and 1882, with the 1882 version being the most prevalent. He's also counterfeited $10 gold pieces, the 1913p and the 1926p, both of which have the Omega placed upside down within the upper loop of the R in Liberty in the Indian's headdress. The identity of the Omega Man is still unknown until maybe tonight. So this is a 1907 $20 St. Gaudens Omega Man double eagle. Dan, you've seen these gold coins. Dan, you put some gold coins in your treasures, in your last treasure.
Probably not worth as much as that one is, though.
No, not in 1907, right? So this is just an example, and if you look at the eagle flying on the back, and you look down at that rear claw below its wings, inside of that claw is where the Omega Man put the Omega here. So here you go. Here's an actual fake, and you can see it. It actually says counterfeit Omega high relief $20 in a package, and then a larger close up of one. Again, the other interesting thing, the exact same gold content percentage, 90% gold, as the coins that were minted by the US Mint. So whoever did this knew the exact percentage of gold to make the coin if it was ever tested.
Oh, so what does a counterfeit go for?
Well, I think they're going up in value. I mean, most people would.
That's kind of funny that a counterfeit would eventually become worth more than
melt value, right? So
yeah,
melt value of it is, just under $1,000 or less, and now they're going for about double melt value at this point. So the marks, the three giveaways, toolings, and symbols. So there's some tooling marks in the hair on the coin. There's the Omega symbol that's in the claw, and I have some better close-ups. And there's also some brush tool markings in one of the rays above the M that the people that now look for to see if these are real or not can pretty quickly spot whether it's an Omega Man coin or not. Again, had you not known that this had been done, these were obviously going around for quite a while prior to people finding out that they were actually fake. Here's the 1874, 1878, 1882 $3 gold coins. Inside the top of the R is an Omega symbol. And so again, here's another coin inside the headdress, on the rim of the headdress that touches the hair on the R where it says Liberty is an actual one of the symbols. Again, in the R of Liberty, and I blew this up. And this one's a little bit interesting because you don't really see a true Omega. You see what looks to be a circular part, but almost with a point at the top of it. And then kind of the two legs coming down. You can see why someone said skull and crossbones as well too for this. So again, I'm trying to zoom in. If you're looking on your phone, you're obviously not gonna be able to see this, but if you're looking in, you can start to see that there are these symbols that are inside the claw of the eagle on the $20. And again, you can also see why someone might have said skull and crossbones instead of Omega. So why was Forrest considered, or people raised it as a suspect by some in the community? Well, obviously the slide that you tuned in was the double Omegas, and everybody associated Forrest with the Omegas. So when this came up, everybody was like, well, wait a second, Forrest collected gold coins and it was a coin aficionado. He collected gold in all its forms. So he knew all different forms of gold, whether it's nuggets or raw gold. They also said, Forrest, even though he did it legitimately, sold fake paintings. So Forrest wasn't new to counterfeiting in some regard. So maybe he was somehow involved in Omega Man. He'd started his own bronze foundry, as we know, and he was obviously familiar with metals, not only from the art world and sculpture, but from actually making pieces of his own and helping people like Glenna Goodacre get started with metals. The mark on the coin that was considered to be left by the creator minter of the coins was said to be an Omega, and so the folklore grew that these coins were counterfeited out of real gold by an Omega Man, and many people thought of Forrest as an Omega Man because of the double Omegas. The other thing was that Omega was a symbol that was used during Vietnam, not only by those that opposed, at certain times by soldiers who were opposed to certain missions or certain actions. And again, that's part of the folklore, but it went to the fact that, Forrest obviously was in Vietnam, got shot down twice, and he may not have always agreed with things that were happening during the war. And the last part is he's Forrest Fenn. I mean, his quote was, "I wish I could have lived to do the things I was attributed to." And this is one thing that people tried to attribute to him that I don't think he did, but it was interesting that a lot of people in the community, went through this for quite a while. So profiling the Omega Man, which is, what I like to do. I like to think, who is this? And so I read more about it, what you would need to know how to make a coin like this. And my profile was, it had to be a group or an individual that was either a coin minting expert or someone who employed a coin minting expert. I mean, the fact that these were indistinguishable from the US Mint, that quality, is not something that a group of ragtag people could press out. You would literally have to have similar equipment to do it. And so you'd have to have access to the finest minting equipment. You'd have to know what the ratio of gold was so that the weight was perfect, and that if the gold was ever tested, it would come out to be the same. And so whoever was prepping the gold to be minted had it at the exact same percentage that the United States mint coins were in. And so obviously, how could you do it without detection? You know, large quantities of gold, huge minting equipment, and then someone who could launder upwards of $300 million. So it's one thing to do it and to be able to make the coins. Then you have to sell them and not get caught doing it with the number of coins that I showed at the beginning that were made over the years. It's quite astounding that this actually really happened. And it obviously happened again at a time prior to new forensic evidence and all the all the things we have now for crime fighting. Same thing back in the it's almost like we're talking about the same way we were talking about DB Cooper and the things that they didn't have in CSI skills back then. So this individual or group knew what metals, an exact metal, the 90%. And I think it's a guy that was actually the chief engraver for the US Mint. And he was the 9th chief engraver for the US Mint. The 8 before him died in office. So it was almost like you were the Pope or on the Supreme Court. Once you got that job, you kind of had the job till you died as the leader of the organization. He was the first one that left on his own. His signature, or the way that he marked coins, is actually very similar to markings left by the Omega Man. So if you remember, I said skull and crossbones. When they were first identified, people thought they were skull and crossbones. It was only later that they changed it to Omega. And there is a recording of that I was able to find on YouTube of the person saying skull and crossbones and then saying that it was later changed to Omega. And the R that's put in the Liberty, the person who I think it is, last name starts with R. So the fact that the Omega was put in the letter R on Liberty, of all the places that it could have been on the coin, I think is that. And then retired in 1964, but went on to work for the Franklin Mint, which is a private mint. Some of you may have heard of the Franklin Mint, and worked there for over a decade, having access to all the equipment there day and night, being regarded as a superstar in the field. Although if you go to this individual's Wikipedia page, it's like 4 sentences, which is just amazing to me when you think about the impact this guy had on US history, and when you're about to see some of the things that he did. So the Franklin Mint had equipment that could match the quality of the US Mint. I thought that was very interesting. So this is him. His name is Gilroy Roberts, GR are his initials. And you may see that coin right dead center in the middle is the Kennedy $50, and Gilroy Roberts designed that coin. And you can see in the black and white photo, he's sitting there with a large sculpture of it. Then he's creating the next sculpture. And back in the day, they would do that. They'd start off large and get down and work down and work down and work down until they had the actual sign of the coin. Much different than how they do it today, except for the people that like the old way.
Really?
So this is who he was, Gilroy Roberts. And he's known as a master of coins and minting. And again, he was the first person in that position to leave it, because it was a job for life. You didn't have to retire from it. Again, it was like Supreme Court justice or the Pope. And now we can look at Gilroy's mark, and it's actually at the bottom of JFK's neck. And you can actually see that it looks like a circle with 2 flares coming out from it, which are his initials G and R. And he did change it over time. It did morph from time to time, but if you look at that GR, and we'll go back to look at some of the Omega Man symbols, looks pretty darn close. This was the celebration of the anniversary of the Man on the Moon. Here's a different Gilroy signature, and you can see again the GR with the 2 legs coming out of it. Looks like a circle, but maybe a point at the top where they don't meet in this instance. And again, just an example of his mark. So who was he? The ninth chief engraver of the Mint. He was known for famous designs, including the Kennedy $50. he and his wife created a charitable foundation to keep his tools and have his materials viable to museums. The assets that they have in that foundation are $9.3 million. This was a guy who made pictures of coins and had assets in his charitable foundation of 9.3 million. The foundation reported income of 2.25 million in 2019. And because it's a charitable foundation, the donation, the money is marked as anonymous. So they did not need to report where the money came from or how it was put into.
I think we should, you're really good with getting a hold of people. Why don't we see if they want to, maybe donate some coins and we'll throw a treasure hunt. Come on.
Right. So again, these marks, and this was one, one of the things I think why Gilroy Roberts may have done this, because it doesn't make sense that somebody who obviously worked for the government for a long time would all of a sudden go, crazy and leave and commit some major counterfeiting crime. So there's some theories along that. And one is that he may have been coerced or was working against his will, that he might have been compromised, whether he was gambling or had an affair or whatever it might be, and that it could have been mob related, where he was actually doing this and actually trying to hide the GR so people would actually know that it was his work. Obviously on its face, you could say he just ended up being a bad dude and quit his job to go do this, figuring out that he could get a bunch of gold and commit a great crime. But I think more people are siding with the fact that Gilroy Roberts might have been doing this. He was compromised in some way. And of course, we will never hear from him because he died in 1992. But such an incredible talent. He's still known as one of the talents. And this is one of the coins I zoomed in on that you don't see the G, the circle at the top of Omega connected. And you can actually see what would look like be a true GR on one of the Omega Man coins. Again, I know it's fuzzy because we're trying to zoom in that close to it. So here are some different of the Gilroy signatures. Again, that last one, where he just has the mark in the R, was one that he used later at the Franklin Mint. And this would have been done during his time when he was at the Franklin Mint. You see a couple more on things that he did. If I had to list suspects, Forrest would be way down on the list and Gilroy Roberts would be at the top of the list. So I just wanted to share this because these are my thoughts on the Omega Man. And
one thing I've noticed about you is at the end of it, you turned it into a conspiracy theory. Your track record is starting to show conspiracy theories.
Yeah, my money's on him. I don't know if it's him, but the knowledge, formulation of gold percentage, skill, access to mint equipment, how to set it up, the quality of the operation would all lead to a skilled minter being the Omega Man. Forrest was a lot of things, but I do not believe he was that. But my question is, could one of them, since Forrest collected all kinds of gold coins, I'm curious that even if Forrest wasn't the Omega Man, if one of the coins that's potentially being appraised for sale turns out to be from the Omega Man. Cool. And there you have it, another Packer Jack PowerPoint.
Show off.
Gilroy Roberts. I'm thinking this guy made the Kennedy $50. He was head of the mint, and then you go to his Wikipedia page, and it's literally like it's one paragraph on Gilroy Roberts. That's it. Really, really interesting. And then the fact that they have this foundation that has millions and millions and millions of dollars. Who knows? Could be a Rockefeller for all I know. But it's a very strange thing. But go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Did you ever notice how small an ounce? Like if you have a 1 ounce silver coin, and then compare it to a 1 ounce gold coin, it's like they're deceivingly, like when you see pictures of them, they're like the larger than life thing, and you get them, and you're like, where's the rest? But it's you put it in your hand, and you're like, oh yeah, it's. Gold is.
Yeah, my grandfather had a gold nickel that he carried around in his wallet, and I think he finally sold it. We're talking 30 years ago for like $360.
Oh God. You always say that. You know how much that would be worth today, but maybe
right. But back then, you had a gold nickel that ended up being worth $360. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got a couple. I got a couple of gold coins. and some silver. I tend to give it all away in treasure hunts, but I'm going to start saving it. The heck with you guys. Go find your own gold and silver from somebody else.
Hey, thanks, Barry. Yeah, again, some of you are saying we've seen this presentation before. There were people who were into this during while the chase was still going on, right as I was getting into it. We're talking about Forrest as the Omega Man. It was a hot topic right before the chess actually was announced, as found in June of 2020. People were kind of all over this right as I was getting into it. And then it died right away because obviously the announcement of it being found, and then Jack's name coming out and Forrest passing and all that, and all these other things have kind of superseded it. But it was interesting to see how many people were like convinced that Forrest was the Omega Man. And I was like, I'm just not buying that. It was kind of like, when they were first saying Forrest was DB Cooper, I'm like, man, I love that it came back up because I was so into DB Cooper before that, Dan, as you know. Like, I've had DB Cooper stuff in the books, for decades. It was probably 5 or 6 or 7 years since I'd even thought about DB Cooper. And then Alan started talking about it. I wasn't around when Mindy was talking about it, but this is one where I was like, I can't believe that Forrest would know how to make exact replicas of US Mint coins on equipment that great. So it just didn't make sense to me. I mean,
Right.
His bronze stuff is nice, but it's very rudimentary. It's not, it's artistic. It's not precision based. And he actually told people that he liked doing it that way. He goes, anybody can, make the beautiful cowboy on the horse in bronze. I'm going to make these really unique bells with my fingerprints in them and those types of things. So I didn't see Forrest as someone who, would be making, US mint quality coins minted the same way that they're minted and get, it just didn't make sense.
I've seen it say it would look a little more crude, but Hooley says, I reached out to Jack Stoof and Justin Posey to ask if either would have the coins inspected for Omegas for kicks. Both were clueless. I sent both links to the forgery.
Oh, recently or back after it was found? That's interesting.
Well, my guess is probably more recent if we're talking about Justin Posey, because then, that's when Justin was buying the chest or attempting to. So I would have.
Oh, that was Hooley. Cool.
Yeah. Hooley said that.
Yeah, I just think it would be neat if Forrest wasn't, but one of the coins ended up being. Just the weirdness of that would be phenomenal.
Oh yeah, it would make it. Well, that's just why, if I had to pick any coin out of there to buy, it would be the coin with the rust stain on it from the key.
Yeah, you know what, Dan? And you know what I did is I went back and looked at the Barbarisi photos up close, and I think they took the rust off the coin.
Oh, Jack.
Yeah. I'm thinking they would probably do that for numismatic value too, but maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I can't believe that he wouldn't have known not to.
Maybe they did. All I'm saying is from the two, high res photos from Dan's website that you can zoom in on and see pretty good clarity. You cannot see. I mean, you can see the key, you can see the scissors, you can see all the coins, you can see everything, but you don't see rust. And it could be that it's stacked in one of the stacks and it's underneath, it's on the bottom or something. But
too true, very true. Yeah. So.
But I was waiting to see it so I could tell you, dude, it's there, the one with the rust on it. So,
of course, now that I've said I'm sure I'm not the only one that would have been, after that particular coin, but
yeah, I don't know. One of the things I did that I thought might be cool in the upcoming weeks is, remember when I went through Heritage, all the transactions of Fenn and the Fenn family on Heritage and all the coins they've sold. And, I think it'll be cool for us, again, if it gets to that point where it's going to come up with auction, we can do a presentation and just show a bunch of the coins that, how they're cased, how they're graded mint state, what mint state means, and then some of the money that the Fenn family has gotten for coins that they've sold in the past on Heritage is just astounding. I mean, $80,000, $100,000 for a single coin is just, it's incredible. And of course, we know there's coins that sell the craziest ones.
Oh yeah,
can sell for millions of dollars, but just to know that Forrest they've been selling all those coins is amazing.
So who is heading to the World Series? I know, John, your last minute entry.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure JK is going down. What about you, Five Leaf? Are you heading down there to enjoying the festivities? Bobby Brass. You should head on down there.
So I know Davio's going. I know obviously Indy's going. I know Odious Soul is going. I know Cynthia's already there.
Mike and K-Pro obviously already
Mike
there.
and K-Pro. Somebody said Bobby Brass is going. I don't know if that's true, Bobby, or not. Said he was going to sleep in his car, but I don't know. It's supposed to be 35 that night.
I will always get to say that John Bobbitt took me out of a poker tournament. I got into a heads up and I had him beat to the river, and he caught a flush on the river. And
so when it came to you winning, he cut you off, Dan.
Yeah. I didn't.
Stay all night, try the veal.
Oh
yeah, no. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to taking out again this thing. And Dan, I think we were surprised by the lack of comments on the Saturday show, because we were going to give away another dude ship, and I've got the one going to Jenny. So if you go to the show that's the Smooth Jazz show from Saturday and just comment on it, Dan and I are going to give this away probably next Tuesday, right, Dan?
Yeah, let's give it a little more time. I mean, there's only like 5 or 6 comments in it.
Yeah, but there's like 600 views, but there's only like 5 or 6 comments, which is weird because we have ones where we get like 250 views and there's 30 comments. So that's bizarre.
Not important. If you really want to go, you reach out to someone. Of course, I know you don't know anyone, so to room with somebody that you have absolutely no idea with can be, you got to be the right kind of person to do that. You got to be like, I don't want to, like, I know Davio, but I didn't know Davio. But I'm like, yeah.
I just thought you were probably very relaxed when you got home from the contact high.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, I don't know if Davio stayed on, but he and I have been talking about pancakes for 2 years. And I know right next to Bally's is Paris, and they've got a place that has some of the highest rated pancakes in Vegas. So I'm thinking Sunday brunch is going to be, I don't fly back until like 6 o'clock on Sunday night. So,
okay. So you're going to come back. Before I lose it. Okay, Larry, what show am I going to be at in Florida? I'm going to be downtown Fort Myers at the Fort Myers Art Show. It's one of the bigger ones. I have not done it before. I just out of the blue, I'm like, oh, I like to change up shows, and I applied to it and then realized, oh, dummy, it's well, the World Series of Fan moves a little bit each year, and it just happened that this year it landed on a show that I had already accepted and paid money to, so I couldn't, I was like, well, that's my livelihood, so I gotta go do it.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I know some people are getting tickets for shows. I was literally out there for a CEO kind of roundtable thing in January of 2019. And I got a front row seat to David Spade and Ray Romano by myself. I went to the show. It was great. But I think this time I'm just going to go and chill out and relax. And I do have a former employee and chamber director and his wife, who was a chamber director, that was also a client. They were in Oregon and then California, live out there. So I'm going to probably see them for lunch on Saturday before the poker tournament. Get that out of the way so that then I can get really silly without them seeing me get silly.
Cool.
And, have a lot of fun with everybody who's going to be there.
You will have fun. We are.
Yeah, Jens is going to be there. That's right.
Oh yeah, Jens is going to be there.
Jens is going to be there. So yeah, it sounds like there's going to be a pretty decent group out there, Dan.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I know you're jonesing because you're going to be missed. So you and I have gotten to know each other, but I was really looking forward to giving you the bear hug, and it's just not going to happen yet.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, we are up to like 510 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, we always appreciate it. Our plan is, if we ever do get monetized and ever do make a couple of nickels with this channel, is that a portion of that money is going to go to St. Jude's. Anytime if we ever get to monetization and we get super chats, we're just going to, before we get there, we'll have the discussion, like 30%, 40, 50%, whatever that number is going to go to St. Jude's.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, it's Dan and I aren't doing this for the money. So, and I think you guys know that. So this is, the fact that we've got the whole Gary Drayton thing potentially coming up, and I forced Dan to promise that we take Ben with us. So we're gonna have to get that figured out on dates for this spring to get down to Florida and do that. But hopefully the stuff we bring back from that, it's all gonna be charity, obviously. And again, just since I've been involved in the chase, I'm at the point in my life where for me, it's more about giving than receiving. So we did the turquoise bracelet and the Randall
Me too.
Cobb
You know,
bobblehead doll and other stuff and poker chips. And so
I've got some cool stuff.
yeah.
Every once in a while, I do something like I had like 12 Forrest Fenn doodle books that I had bought over the course of about 2 years. And every once in a while on my Facebook page, I just give one away. You know, one of Forrest's cool, like a girl doodle. I mean, there was only like a limited number. And these were books that had doodles with they were not personalized to anyone. So
what does
even
Indy
more
mean? Wait until Netflix. Does she mean we're going to become Netflix stars? Is that what the fans can become the Copper King? Copper King.
Well, she said, stay going live, guys. And
oh man. Yeah.
Thank you, Andy.
So we just did 3 PowerPoints, 3 multifaceted PowerPoints in less than an hour.
PowerPoint
we promoted a treasure hunt. We're promoting Indy's treasure hunt, Houses Asunder.
You know what? Next week, you know, I've been just trying to pick up different treasure hunts and trying to find new ones to promote that nobody knows about. But well, maybe I'm not going to be able to do this next week because I'm going to have to talk to Indy, and with World Series of Fenn, I don't know what's going to happen. But Indy, I think we should definitely take a deep dive into getting your treasure hunt a little more attention, and maybe someone can solve it. I don't know.
I'm planning on reading the Treasure Island book on the plane out there. So I got 4 hour flight. I'm gonna crush that book.
I got a couple of flights ahead of me too, so I might bring it with.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, it's just a good read anyway, so why not? It's kind of like the thrill of the chase. The first time you read it, it was just a fun read.
Yeah, my only concern is, do we have to get the original book and then find out if there's differences in the script?
Well, and that's what I mentioned, you know, and that might be
because that's where I want Pavetta, because we can just have Pavetta enter all the text from one book in the second book. And
you know, if there was ever a group that could do that, though, I remember when Forrest came out with his 3rd book, and then he came out with the revised edition.
Oh yeah.
Of it.
Oh yeah.
And this group we're talking within a day or two.
Well, how about Rudy Green with all the differences from Forrest's original stories, and then how they were edited into TTOTC with, you know, like originally he said on the fire hole and took it out of there. So if it's on the Madison, he changed that from what was in the, you know, that he first got printed as an article. So that's amazing, that the amount of work people put into that. And the funny thing is, now there's just computer programs where if you can get the you know, whether it's a PDF or whether you can get the Kindle version of something, you can just have it scanned and within minutes know where there's differentiations on pages.
Oh, yep. Computers are. I will throw the links to the treasure hunt I promoted into the description of this video after we get off. If you guys know about any new treasure hunts that you don't mind announcing to the community, copperdan.17@gmail.com. Reach out to me.
And also, some people that are on now may not know this, but it's my belief that Jack went with the Condor too, because of the movie 3 Days of the Condor with Robert Redford, which was the movie that John Grisham saw when he was younger and said, I'm going to start writing books like The Firm because of that movie. Now, there's a little bit of some sexism with Faye Dunaway in one of the scenes, but Robert Redford is awesome in it. And his job at the beginning is he rides his bike to work in this building that's the front for where he reads and they try to find codes and stuff in books. And it turns into a murder thriller. It's called 3 Days of the Condor. It's probably free on Amazon or Netflix or whatever. You pay $3 for it. It's a classic movie. And I believe that's Jack called himself the Condor too, because Redford was the Condor one.
Indeed.
Condor was Robert Redford's call sign when he called into the CIA in that movie.
Chasing Indy, do you still got your bonus hunt for the free room out at in Vegas, or is that still on? Did someone solve it? What happened? If it hasn't, you should go live after us and get somebody a room.
All right, Dan, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Called it 1 hour.
Okay, all right. Hit the
Like
go
George
button.
Costanza, always leave them wanting more.
Mm. I don't know if we've done that or not. I don't know if they just go
I
away.
think Odia so. I don't know if she went live. She said she was going to go live every day, so maybe she's going on.
I think she already did.
Oh, she did already today? Okay.
Yeah, I think I saw her live earlier. If
All right.
if you
Sorry, I missed
subscribe to
that.
her, if you subscribe to her channel, you would know.
I
You
did, but I
probably,
was just, I was in stupid meetings all day until I got
yeah, I
home.
got
So
her. No, I really. Oh, I got, yeah, I think I already said this. I got my stuff shipped out to Vegas.
oh, you did.
I expressed it today. Lately FedEx, their ground has been taking, like, it used to, like, to ship to Vegas for me would have been a 4, maybe 5 days, but it's been taking like 8 or 9 or 10. It's just it's, I don't know. I think they're having employee problem. I think that's a problem all over this country right now, is
Oh my God. Are you
finding
kidding me?
employees.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling it in the shipping logistics department. So I'm like, you know what, I this has to get there. So I'm like, I'm going to ship it express, and it just bumps it up into an upper notch of people that handle it. And I think they handle it better too, myself. And because it doesn't get passed around as much. It'll go from me to the cities and get on a plane and go right to Vegas.
Yeah, we had one of the oldest like pub Friday fish fry places that's been around since I was a kid. The girl I went to school was third generation and from my high school there. And after 63 years, they just went out of business because they could only get 3 people to come into work there, and so it's just
That is,
unbelievable. We just started two new engineers before the end of the month, the IT business, obviously. So network and security engineers. We could use 5 more. Looking for a executive assistant and accounts payable person right now. And it's because we're growing and we have more businesses that want to do business with us, which it's a much better problem to have than going out of business. But at the same time, you put a lot of pressure on how you serve your current clients, depending upon how squeezed you are with employment. So it's a real thing that's going on out there right now. And I think hopefully after this Omicron variant starts to die down, we're going to see more people coming back into the workforce. There's going to be more seniors that are going to, either out of necessity or just because they want to work, get back into the workforce after having the Jesus scared out of them for the last 2 years on being elderly or older.
yeah.
But I think we're going to have a great second half of the year. Inflation will get tamped back down, and the country will be rocking and rolling again as we end the year.
Godalkin, you're scaring the crap out of me. He says domestic express flights got halted yesterday from what oh God, don't even, if my stuff doesn't make it there, I'm going to be, that would just be the extra kick in the ding for not being able to go. And then the stuff I made specifically for you guys. But
some people are saying this is going to be the last World Series of Fan, but I think if we get COVID kind of in the rear view mirror going into 2023, I think there could be a strong showing again next year, especially if you've had the chess sale and a bunch of other stuff go on. But it'll remain to be seen. But I'm just looking forward to getting out there on Friday, and I hope anybody who's on the fence like I was until Monday morning just says, hit your F it button. Life's too short. Have a great time. Get your way out there, and doesn't matter what aspect of the socioeconomic scale you're out there. And Mike and Christy are finding ways for people to live off $5 a day. So
you can do Vegas. You can do Vegas cheap if you're willing to stay off the strip and do a few things. But
and I'm only going to eat like a couple bites of pancake because I'm keto boy too. But if Davio and I do Sunday morning pancakes, you can come and I'll just take one off of the stack and you can have the rest.
And John, if you're with Davio coming down an escalator and he says, "Hey John, can you hold this for me?" Just know you may be an accessory to a crime.
Yeah, I'm a little bit smarter than that. I usually don't take.
I just like put my arm like, what? And he sets this thing in my hands and opens it up. I'm like, what do you? Oh, like Davio, like I don't mind, like whatever. But we're outside. It's like, is this legal? I don't know. Is this legal or not? I mean, we're in Vegas. Well, then they could find out it's not legal completely, but whatever.
All right, man.
It's all good.
Get back on the treadmill here, and you gonna go do some night running or not?
Just treadmill. I need to go. I need to get on. I didn't go. It's just colder than it's so windy and the wind chill is well blizzard on. I just didn't feel like going outside tonight and running. So
Cool.
all right,
Thanks
guys.
everybody.
Peace.
I'll
Everybody
be
have a good
checking
time
in
in Vegas.
from Vegas. If you're not there, we'll try to keep you part of the loop. I know Mike's gonna be streaming. I know Candy will. I think Shannon's going to. I'll be Dan. If you want to call me, I can go live on my phone with you if you're free, and we'll keep everybody updated as what's going on. Because if you can't make it, we want you to be there in spirit. But hopefully,
Yeah,
you can...
maybe I'll do something. I'll bring my computer down to Florida, and if I can, we'll go live, and I can go live through your phone, and we can live vicariously through John.
All right, Copper Factory Vegas. We'll make that happen on Saturday, most likely. Everybody have a great week. We'll be back on the Copper Factory Tuesday and maybe a little live. We'll keep the happy hour thing going, or at least the cocktail thing going from Vegas with Dan and Fort Myers, and onward ho.
And you never know, maybe next Tuesday will be the Tuesday that Jack Stoof joins us.
It could be. As long as you quit forgetting to send, you got to send the Zoom link though.
Jesus, well, okay, well, I learn something new every week.
What am I talking about? I don't know, Jack.
All you guys don't know Jack, but I do, because I'm Copper Dan.
That's right.
Peace out, guys. Peace out, guys. All right, we're clear.